Alright, this is me, Rahul, and
Hi, I'm Sarjana.
we are making our first video blog for the class Theater 104. I'm just going to start with showing our university. It's the Wong Center at the back, the theaters. You can see the green lawns, you can see the beautiful tree at the back, which is just going to lose its leaf in the spring coming down. You can see the cars rolling by, the trucks, the lawnmower. This is all I wanted to show. This is a part of our 21st century. You wouldn't have seen this in the 20th century because this university didn't exist during 1940s or 1930s. It was not as good as now. Yep, coming back to the class Theater 104. I was just going back through those images. Like, I tried to Google some images about World War I and World War II, and I found some shocking images that still come in my head again and again. And those images that the professor showed in the class, like the 300, 400 images, they were like so nightmares, like some of them were so depressing. The people, how they treat each other, the economic crisis, and the German wars, and Nazi wars, and so what, and so on. I'm just going to ask my friend Sarjana over here. She's taking the class as well. How do you feel about the class, last class, I mean?
Well, yeah. So last class, I think it was pretty interesting because, we have so many classes, like BME classes and
Right.
math classes and so many like, we don't have a class which a professor shows us, like, all the images, right? And it gives you a picture of the past, which
Right.
we really didn't have because we just take BME, all those, like, hard courses and whatever. But this class, I felt like I really like those pictures because I honestly don't have so much idea about the history in the
Yeah,
past.
like this is the first time
Yeah,
a
right?
professor showed a class wherein you
And-
see like 300, 400 images and
And he was also talking about the images, like giving us the idea, right? That what was it about? Some of the images I felt it was like it was very revealing. I mean, some images, you know. How do you feel? How do you like it?
I felt the images were pretty good. Like the class was amazing, especially the video blogs that I saw about the previous people they did some dramatic versions. I'm sorry, I'm just in short of time. I couldn't make it more dramatic. I just had to go on about it. But the next thing I wanted to talk about here was how I personally felt about those times. Like my parents and my grandparents, they used to tell me stories about what happened during that time to them. So I'm just going to share some story about my father and my mom, like how they suffered through those times, and my grandparents, what they felt that time. So my grandparents were in Africa that time. They were having a good business, and my dad was sent back to India because of the revolution going in Africa that time, and he was sent alone. His parents were they stayed back in Africa that time. He was just 12 years old, and they didn't have any money that time. He just grew up by himself, became a doctor, and is highly successful right now. Same goes with my mom. Like, she was born in Burma, and just about like 7 years. She was about 7 years when she was deported back to India because of the revolution that went on in Burma that time. She showed me some images of that time, like how things went. Like, there were currency notes lying as leaves on roads. Like, the currencies were flying on the ground just as leaves because there was no value of those currencies, as the revolution just changed the whole currency itself.
Which currency was it? I mean, in Burma, when you were talking about Burma or India?
I'm talking about Burma. They were deported to India because the currency
okay.
went down.
Okay.
So how about you? Like, how about your parents? How did they feel about those times?
Oh yeah. Not those times, but my country, I belong to Bangladesh, so it was a part of India, as you know. It was like way long back, and then it was part of Pakistan, East Pakistan, and then it got its freedom, and then we got our own country. One of my grandparents, uncle, someone, I don't remember exactly,
Right.
but he was like a freedom fighter or something. He was shot dead. I mean,
Oh.
the Pakistani cops, they just
Oh,
came in
that's so
the
sad. I'm
house
sorry
and
to
then
hear that.
just like shot it. Even my grandfather, my nana, my grandfather, his name was in the dead list. I mean,
okay.
he was on the top list for the
hit list. You mean?
Yeah, hit list.
Right.
So he was, but there was some guy who informed him that you are in the hit list and you need to like run away from
So
here. Or something.
so your grandfather was very popular.
Yeah, he was. He was like in his city. He was the richest man over there at that time. Like back
Oh, wow.
in 70s. Yeah. And that's
So what about your family? Like, what happened to your mom?
My family? My father and mother were not married at the time, so they actually took help from India because what they did was they all ran and went to India. Like they escaped, but like they couldn't just go like that. They had to like hide themselves and do like so many things and like take help for people and then hide themselves because the war like took for like 9 months. But yeah, we got our freedom. Like now it's a total different country.
So you guys talk about your freedom movement in your history textbooks, and
Yeah, of course. Like from
I saw some images about the Bangladesh War, the Liberation War, and they were pretty shocking. I could see dead people, like they're cut throats and they're shot down everywhere.
I know, right?
It was pretty much like a Nazi German war, like whatever happened during Adolf Hitler's time. I guess something what more or less happened during East Pakistan versus West Pakistan war, right?
Right.
Yeah, and we also faced some wars between
Yeah,
India and Pakistan
about
that
the
time.
British
Yeah, we were trying to get rid of the British people, but our war was completely different, and we faced it through non-violence. We had a great freedom fighter called Mahatma Gandhi.
Yeah.
He fought the war for India. He did many wars. He fought for Africa as well. He got the slaves' liberty in Africa, the black versus the white, and then he came to India and he fought for India to get rid of Britishers, and he was the first freedom fighter who adopted non-violence as his weapon. And believe me, that was the best weapon. Without any killings
Right.
in his army, he was able to get the victory. But there were many other people, like if you talk about the freedom fighters, Subhash Chandra Bose and many others who went around the world to get help from other countries. Like Subhash Chandra Bose, he went to Japan, he went to Germany to get the soldiers to fight against Britishers.
Right.
And the time was pretty bad that time because everyone was coming back to India from all the countries because revolutions was going on. Europeans were coming to India, Africans were coming to India, and the country was in poor economy that time. They didn't have that much. But right now, as the centuries turn, like from 20th century, 21st century, the economic levels are going high up. Like everything is getting so much better and faster,
Right.
the technology and everything. So how do you think about the technology in your university?
My university, I think it's awesome. Like I think I'm very lucky to born in this century and like to have all these technologies and all the developments which I have right now. Because I think if I was born in 20th century, just think how would we be? Like we have to like fight for our lives every day. I
Yeah,
guess.
that was true.
Yeah,
I would believe that like my parents didn't enjoy the life of college that I am enjoying. Maybe they enjoy life in different terms, but not as technologically advanced as I am. Like right now, I'm making this video blog through an iPhone 4. I wouldn't be able to make that if I was
Right.
born during that time. And I'm much more happy that I'm part of this class and I get an opportunity to talk about this.
Yeah.
Alright?
Yeah.
Calling it a day off.
All right.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.